Welcome back, everybody. It's Friday night. Yay. Uh, had to turn Peter off there real quick. So, he's getting a little long-winded there. So, it's Friday night. I'm very, very excited. I have something to show you. So, we'll wait till some people get in here because it's it's about one of our own. So, that's kind of cool. Um, I think it may take some people a minute to come in because Peter is still going. He hasn't made it all the way through the chat yet. So I try to give him an hour and a half, but that sometimes is not long enough. Sometimes he needs 2.5, and that's okay because everybody gets on a roll, and thankfully there's nobody after me, so I can just ramble all I want to. Um, but yeah, so it's been a good week. It's been a busy week, right? I had my grandson Wednesday night, Thursday, and uh, my daughter Kimmy got him today. It's my daughter's birthday, so happy birthday to Brett. And she's 28 years old today, so that's pretty cool. Uh, it's hard to believe, but that's pretty cool because in my mind she'll always be, I don't know, 10 or 12 years old. Um, and my little girl. So she still looks the same, and I don't think she's grown since she was 10. So, that's kind of a cool thing. But, so yeah, it's just kind of, that's, been my week in a nutshell. And tomorrow is laundry and mowing the yard. I knew I had something else to do. Uh, but yeah, so that's kind of been my week in a nutshell. And Roy's here. Good day, Sly. Good day, Roy. You guys really had me kind of worried last week because you didn't show up, and you or Jeff. The Australia boys didn't show up to Peter's or mine, and it concerned both Peter and I. We were both kind of wondering because you guys are pretty steadfast and regular, and hope everything down under is okay. Hope you're not having the wildfires like Hawaii. But yeah, it just kind of, we notice when somebody's missing. It's okay to be missing 1 week, but if you're missing 2 weeks, then you probably will get an email or something. Uh, and there's Randy. Hey, Sly. Hey, Randy, how you doing? That was phenomenal how you set that video to Jonathan's violin music. I really, really enjoyed that. So, um, I don't know if it was a one-off or I don't have a lot of chance to watch a whole lot of videos. So, I catch them when I can, but, it's... Roy says, sorry, the wife had too much work for me last week. Oh, all those lovely little honey-do lists. Yes, yes. Well, that was, when I was married, I had a list of honey-dos. I don't know why he didn't. Um, yeah, don't know about that. But that may be a good reason why I'm not married, and he is. Yeah, go figure. Uh, Trying to get a little bit of background music on. Maybe. How about that one? Uh, just so it's not so, you know. Uh, oh, I didn't turn all the lights on either. Oh well, I'll hear about that, I'm sure. Uh, there's Charles saying, hello, Sly. Hello, Charles. Are you in Miami or Orlando? I think you said you went back to Orlando. I think. Could be wrong about that. Wouldn't be the first time. And Scott's here saying hot. Yes, yes, it is very hot. 103. Thank you very much. I'm kind of hoping Mr. Camper Junkie comes in because I have something to show you tonight that pertains particularly to him. But it's just it's something fun. So maybe he'll come in a little bit. But so Roy, you're married. Now I don't know if I'm sure they do. So there's a thing out there called TEMU, TEMU, and as I understand the story, which it makes for a good story, I don't know if it's true or not. So there was a thing out there called Wish, and they sold a bunch of junk, okay, and a friend of the guy who owned Wish. It's like a Chinese thing. Um, but a buddy of his got upset with him, and so he started his own company and named it TEMU. And the whole purpose of it was to put the Wish guy out of business. Okay. So I don't know if that's true or not. That's just the story that I heard and it's going around. So their quality is probably, I'm going to say about the same. Where they excel is if you get something and you have an issue with it, they instantly refund your money. You don't have to send it back to them. You don't have to do anything. You just toss it and they just credit your account, right? No questions asked. So they have grown hugely. And I mean, if they've reached Oklahoma, you know that they're huge, right? Because nobody here, we are the last to hear about stuff. East Coast, West Coast, Oklahoma is always 3 months behind everybody. And all the I belong to a group of old ladies who like to play cards, and all the old ladies just love them, right? So I'm thinking, okay, well, I'll give them a try. And I have tried them a couple of times, and I will warn you, do not buy anything electronic, okay? Everything that I have gotten has had issues, or has not worked, or has not been in the box. They actually sent me an empty box one time. Like I said, they credited my money immediately, so it was all good. But they do have some stuff that is worth kind of looking at. So, uh, Randy is talking to Charles, saying, "Are you going? Get off there. Are you going to change your name to Miami News?" And Charles says, "I sold my house in Orlando, and I'm now relocating to Brickell Key in Miami." Okay, I don't know where Brickell Key is, but uh, okay. Uh, Roy says, "Haven't heard of it yet, but wish is all junk or fake." Yes, and a lot of this Temu stuff is not worth having either. Okay, but you know, even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while, and I have found some actually kind of nice stuff, and it's only like $2, right? So it is kind of cool. Now, it does take about 10 days to get here because it is coming from China, but you know how that goes. Peter says, "Hi, sorry I went over my time slot a touch." Uh-huh. I'm here with Sly. Yeah, I had to, like, I was actually about 30 seconds late because I had to wait for the computer to shut down. Uh, the PC is rather noisy, uh, so I try to shut it off so I don't scream at you guys. Roy's saying good day to Peter. Have I got that down? Good day. Have I got that? Am I doing okay? Because I know, you know, sometimes dialect, like when Peter says winter, winter chicken dinner, it's an Oklahoma thing. And I think you have to sound like a hick for it to work. Okay? So, yeah, just saying. Uh, uh, okay. Actually, Randy, I have Aisha with me. We are reworking the naming structure, but yes, name change coming soon. Okay, that's cool. Uh, oh, and there's Debbie. Hi, Sly. Hi, Debbie. How you doing? Um, so I have not seen Lewis, and I hate for him to miss this, but he may just have to miss this and catch it on the replay. But I guess we can go over the Timu stuff first. Um, a perfect good day. Ah, awesome. I, you know, it's funny because every time I try to do like an English accent, it comes out Irish. Yeah, so and if I was to try to do an Irish accent, I have no idea what that would sound like. So I'm just not really good at accents. Is the Sly sign on or just getting overpowered by the other lights? No, I mentioned that, and I knew I would catch some static. So give me 1 second, and I'll just turn some lights on. The hair light too. Okay. Is everybody happier now? Is that a winner chicken dinner? Okay. So, yes, Peter watched a video, made a suggestion that maybe I change some lights around. And so we're trying something new tonight. Let me know what you think, what you don't think. If you don't like it, you know. Uh, Basically, the things going up the walls, they're called painter's lights, and there's two of them. And so I had them in the corner. I really do know how to work this thing. So I had them where one was over here and one was here. And so I took this one and I moved it to over here. Did I do that good? I think I did. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Peter says, "Oh, cool. Looks freaking awesome. Winner chicken dinner." I'm going to have all you guys saying it before too long. So here are my... Now, there's like 3 different things here. Okay. And I've bought like probably 20. So that tells you don't buy anything electronic. What else have I bought that was a complete fiasco? Oh, you have to be kind of careful on some of their quality on some of their stuff. Like the one of the fanny packs I did in the small video came from TEMU, and it's my grandson will use it because it's that small. It's really small. Um, but but these are some things that I got off TEMU that I'm quite happy with, right? These are like for cable organization. Peter, are you paying attention? These are so if you have multiple cameras, they all have mini cords, right? At least 2 per camera. And so you can color coordinate them, right? And they're just Velcro. They're just little strips of Velcro, but they're stupid cheap. They're like $2, $1.98 for the whole pack. And so, like, I don't know, I only have 2 cameras running. Well, I have 3, I guess. But like on this, you can't see me because I'm on the wrong camera. So on this camera, I've got blue, right? And on this camera, I've got green. So when I get down to where everything is plugged in, I know if that plug goes to which camera because I have color coded them. And you just secure your lines on the tripod and just Velcro them and they stick and they're fantastic. I suppose you could use them for other stuff too, but I use them to identify which wire goes to what. So this was definitely a thumbs up. Okay. Um, One of the other things are these little bags. These are the bomb diggity. They're fairly well made. So if you have a bag that has no internal organization, these things are fantastic, right? I got 2 different colors because I don't know, I just wanted to kind of see how what they were and how they acted. They have a little morale patch area here. I guess you could keep money or something in there. I don't know. But the reason I got them was for this, right? Because so many of my bags don't have any internal organization. And I just loaded up. Got my flashlight, my knife, a little chapstick, a pen, one of my little camera multi-tool things. It's not very big, but it weighs a little bit. And a billfold. Now, my phone does fit in here, but tightly. But again, these were like stupid cheap, and I'm kind of all about the cheap, right? If I can like get a package and it be under $20, I got like this whole thing. Now, some of the stuff was a fail, and some of it went home with little man, and that's okay. I mean, not everything is going to be, a hit. Some things are going to be a miss. Um, Roy says, we don't come for the lights. We come for you and Peter. Well, yeah, I have heard about it before if I don't turn on all the lights. And I I think I had them all on earlier, but the sign and the little lantern are battery operated, so I can't leave them on because then I just have to change the battery. Uh, so I think everything else in here is electric, but um, Peter says, actually not true. The set really looks better when there's a 3-year-old playing at the other computer, at least to me. Yeah, he would have loved to have been here, believe me. But there's other people who love him and other people who want to see him. So I don't get to monopolize his time. So I feel blessed because I did have him from Wednesday night till this afternoon. So, and that was a lot of fun. Hiya, Sly and gang. Hi, Jim. How you doing? I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you stayed up. Uh, Roy says audio shops used to sell those ties years ago. I do like color coding. Yeah. Uh, so Lowe's sells a very, very similar package for $8. And I think these were like $1.98, literally. So I mean, I have bought the Lowe's ones before, and actually I like these better because the Lowe's, I think they're made by, I think, is Velcro a brand? Because I think they're Velcro brand, but they're wider, and I like these skinny ones because, like on the tripod and stuff, I have it in between. Like all of my tripods have a monopod, and so there's like a foam cushy grip on them, and so I just have these right above that, and they're perfect. The wider ones would be too big. So I don't know. I really like those. Um, is it something you'll use every day? No, it's not. But for $2, you can buy a package. For $4, you can buy 2 packages and have them for a lifetime, right? So, uh, Peter says, yeah, I actually said yes out loud when you said, Peter, are you paying attention? I think I qualify as a dork now. Well, no, not really. Roy says, I don't see any links. No, because I don't think TEMU has affiliates. They don't charge enough to have affiliates. So yeah, and I'll put the Amazon and the Yolandi links in there after. I got involved watching Peters, and because he was talking about some really good stuff tonight. So yeah. Uh, so just for your own FYI, Peter, this is the lens that I said weighed 220 grams. The turn over, the 11 to 22. The kit lens, of which they keep sending with every camera I buy, and I now have, I think, 3 or 4. As you can see, the size is a lot smaller, and this thing only weighs 122 grams. I mean, it's nothing. It's like light as feather. Now, this also has some metal in it, like it's, you know, whereas the kit lens is all plastic, I'm pretty sure. I'm not even sure the glass is glass. It may be plastic too, because it sure is. I mean, 122 grams is nothing. So you pair this with the lighter camera. Yeah. But, and it's only a 4-year-old camera. That is not old. You keep saying I have an old camera. It's only 4 years old. It's not old. It came out in September of 2019. So it's coming up on its 4th year anniversary. Roy says, if the lights are a problem, just get a green screen. You know, I kind of thought that might be kind of cool. You know, I could have like, look like I'm live streaming from the river. Rapids. I don't know. You can do a lot of fun things with a green screen. Velcro is a very vindictive brand. Yeah, they're real sticklers. Bada Louis, there you are. Okay. So now I can show everybody the surprise. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Let me turn this camera. Ta-da! Upgrade your skills. So where does that come from? Give somebody a quarter if they know. And it can't be Lewis. So Lewis has joined Fourth Wall, which is a content creator based, I don't want to say the right company, platform, content creator based platform. And you can showcase your videos as well as sell merch. And so he was with a different company, and I think I have three, I think at least three of your shirts. And they're just normal t-shirts. This is not a normal t-shirt, and I'm a t-shirt connoisseur. Okay. Um, so it reminds me of a Hanes beefy tee, but it's softer, and I have a feeling it's going to wash better. Like the Hanes beefy tees, they're fine and they're good and everything, but they just they don't wash well. You know what I'm saying? Does that make any sense? Um, I mean, they're okay. I'm not knocking them, but this shirt is twice the quality of the Hanes beefy tee. And I have a feeling I haven't washed it yet, but I have a feeling it's going to wash really, really well because it's very soft and it just feels like it's really good quality. So it seems kind of pricey for a t-shirt, but if you think about it, I have a lot, and I buy them every year. I have a lot of t-shirts that make it one season, not 1 year, one season. Okay. And then they're either out of shape from washing, or a lot of t-shirts when you wash them, they'll twist. And so you'll end up having a seam. You guys know what I'm talking about. And so when those get like that, yeah, I just chunk them because they're not expensive. I bought a lot of t-shirts from Target, and they make it literally one season, right? And then they start looking like I'm homeless. Okay. So if you're going to wear t-shirts, you got to be kind of picky about the t-shirts. And I think this is the type that would last a few years, not just a season, but a few years. And so if you kind of do the math, it actually really comes out cheaper. And I have a few shirts that are probably 10 years old or older, uh, because they have held up so well, and they're some of my favorite shirts. But I think this is going to fall into that category because it just really, and he's got a whole bunch of different designs, a whole bunch of different colors. I just went with something kind of summery, but I'll probably wear it in the winter too. So the only way I could find him, I tried going to Fourth Wall and I could not find him. So go to one of his videos, and he's got a link, one of his later live streams or videos, and he's got a link to it. Follow the link and it'll take you straight there. So, but I highly, if you guys are t-shirt wearers, this is a bomb diggity t-shirt. I'm really liking it. Roy says kit lenses are much better these days. Yeah, the 15 to 45 is not bad. If I didn't tell you I was shooting with a 15 to 45, you probably wouldn't know. It is a little bit softer if you compare it to like the 22, which is a prime. You can, if I compare the two of them, like if I was to put the kit lens on this other camera, you could see the difference, right? Even if I had them set at the same, like both at 22, you could see the difference because it is a little bit softer. But if you didn't have anything to compare it with, I don't think you would even notice. And it does give you 45 zoom, so it does give you a little bit more zoom than the 11 to 22. And with it being lighter, I may put that on the camera for my next out and about. Sly has an old camera. I have a really old camera. I have an 80D. Now, if you want to call the 80D old, I'll take that. Okay. But the M6 really, you can't really call that old. Uh, it's just getting broke in. I tried a green screen last week on YouTube for the very first time. Very easy in Restream. Really? Huh. I just think that it could be fun. Like Halloween, you could put jack-o'-lanterns and pumpkins and what have you. And I don't know. I just think it would be kind of fun to play with. Peter said, "Oh, I wanted to know what you think about the quality of Lewis's new stuff." That's what I was just, yeah. I just told you. um, Lewis says, "I'm so pleased with the quality. Glad you like it. I adore it, and I love the color. Right? It was so funny because it took a while to get here, and I was talking to Peter, and I'm like, I think I remember because we went back and we were looking at your site together, and I said, I think I remember which design I ordered, but for the life of me, I cannot remember what color I ordered. So it was a complete surprise when it came, and I love the color. So I like those surprises. T-shirts from India are 100% cotton. Ones from China are nearly all synthetic. Well, then it must be from India. It does have a name in it. Something colors. Comfort colors, maybe? I don't know. I did look at it and then I put it on, so old timers. But it is a very nice quality t-shirt. So it's his other ones from the other company, they were just like regular t-shirts. I mean, there was nothing wrong with them, but they were just kind of like just a regular $8 t-shirt and you're paying 25 bucks for it. This is actually a premium t-shirt. Um, so if like when I went on a cruise ship, I got a really, really nice, really heavyweight shirt in wherever it was that I was at. Grand Cayman, maybe? I don't remember. But that's become one of my favorite t-shirts because of the weight and the way it washes and everything. And this is on par with that. So yeah, I'll definitely buy another one. So yeah, Lewis, I'll just be wearing all your stuff. Yeah. Anybody else wants to get on fourth wall? I'll buy some of your stuff too. Australia is suited to t-shirts. Well, yay. Yeah. I am still under consideration. I'm trying to get a fourth wall, but I'm still under consideration. I'm not big enough. So, um, which is okay. I mean, I'll get there. But when I found out the quality of this, yes, yes, please. This is what I want my Sly shirts to be made out of because it is really nice. Roy says cheap lenses only show their weakness wide open or a zoom at its extremes. Yes, I have found that when I was, because this is the lens that came with probably one of the M6s. I think they've given me 3 of these. They keep sending them with every camera I buy. So I have noticed that it's 15 to 45, and at 15 it sucks. Okay. And at 45 it doesn't look real good either. But if you keep it around 20 to 35, it does pretty well. I don't have a problem with that. Now, it is, a little harder to, I got the 11 because my arms are not that long. And if I put it on, I could put it on a selfie stick. But like I said on Peter's, the longer you go, the more wobbly it gets. It's kind of like when you extend your arm out, it gets more wobbly than if it's close to your body. So, yeah, I'll try anything that looks like fun. Yeah, right. Me too. If it won't kill me, and if it does, guess what? I'm not gonna know. It'll be all right. My T-shirt only has a me in it. Well, this one has a label. I think it says Comfort Colors or something like that. So, Comfort Colors heavyweight garment. Oh, I was right. Yes. Ah, that's great until you make your own. Yes, and if they will approve me, then I will. I already have I have already tried another t-shirt site, and it was one that Peter used a couple of years ago, and I bought one of his hoodies, and I loved it. It obviously it's Christmas. Um, it's really heavyweight. It's got really cool little strings and a lined hood, and it's a really really nice hoodie. So I went with that company, and I had them make some Sly hoodies, and I bought three of them, one for me and my daughter, and my son, and they're junk. They're apparently they're from China because they're junk. Um, so they're very very thin. The silk screening or whatever you call it uh, is almost looks like it's been washed. It's very very faded, and yeah. So my son uses his to work on the car. Go figure. They're pretty. I mean, I like the color, and that's about where it stops. That's about the only thing I like is the color. So I've been kind of looking for a place, but not actively. Just if you hear of anything, type thing. And but I'm super impressed with these shirts. Uh, Roy says synthetic T-shirts have to have fire retardant that's very toxic. Well, okay. M- Most honestly, most of my T-shirts probably are cotton. I think. Um, you can kind of feel when they're not, and I don't like them. So, so if I buy one and it's not, it doesn't last very long. It usually ends up in the Goodwill or the trash. Roy says QR codes on T-shirts are great for insulting people. Okay, that's kind of funny. I like that, but I don't understand what you mean. I think that's why it's so funny. Yeah. So, so I don't know if any of you guys carry business cards, but I do, and they're vertical. Okay, most business cards are horizontal. Well, I went with vertical because I have to be different, right? And so the last thing I'm going to show you that I got from TEMU, which Amazon does carry these, but they're a lot higher. It's a card holder. Now they do have the horizontal ones where the magnet, it opens this way instead of this way. If I would hold it down where you could see it, that'd be great, wouldn't it? It opens this way instead of this way. But people, every time I'm out with a camera, um, people ask me, what are you doing? Are you a YouTuber? Are you? Yeah. So, you kind of have to explain, well, this makes it so much easier because, well, for one, I just pull out a card, but, and this is gonna make you laugh, Roy, because you just said this. So it's got my name and YouTube and on it and stuff, um, and my email address. But on the back of it is a QR code. There you go. Yep. And so that'll take you straight to my YouTube channel. Yeah. But so I have one of these in every single one of my bags. In my camera bags, I have one in the truck. And generally speaking, every time I give out a card, I get a new subscriber. So they are doing their job, I guess. But again, this was like $2.38, and it's actually made fairly well. I mean, it's got like some kind of a suede stuff here, and then it's got a magnet that closes it. So I don't know how many cards it holds. I've never counted, but they come in a few colors. I think like 8 or something. But for that price, it's perfect. So yeah, I bought several of these. Um, so that's kind of my Temu haul. I really do like when I can, like I said, it takes 10 days to get stuff here, but I really do like when I forget what I've ordered because it takes 10 days. And I get a package and I just, ooh, oh, I forgot about that. Oh, ooh, I really like that. Or, ooh, that's junk. You know, so it's just kind of fun. Lewis says, I'm very, very happy with the quality. I see you feel the same. Totally. I agree. Fourth Wall merch has lived up to my expectation. Yes, I would love to know what kind of hoodies they are going to supply. You know, um, I'm assuming they do hoodies as well. It's funny because the first one that I ordered uh, that has Peter's Christmas on it was really thick and heavy. And then the stuff that I got was like completely the opposite end of the spectrum, right? So, yeah, I won't order from them again, nor will I promote them. Roy says us old fogies love business cards. Well, they really they serve a purpose because I guess I do I guess walk around with the camera a lot, and people every single time I do, somebody asks me what I'm doing. And so if I can just pull out a card and say, "Oh, I have a YouTube channel. Here you go." Well, now they have met somebody that they watch on TV, right? And for some reason, it gets them to subscribe. I don't really understand the whole concept, but I think if I met somebody that was on YouTube, like in person, and that I would subscribe because, hey, I met them for real, you know? So, yeah, I think that's just probably human nature. But every time I hand them out, I get new subscribers. So I should probably do more of that. I actually should do more videos. So the videos increase the subscribers, and the live streams increase the watch time hours. So I have figured that out. And but that lady that I was telling you about, I can't even think of her name. I think her name is Christine, but the name of her channel is Enjoy Your Carry, or I don't know. It's something about bags. Um, but she's already surpassed me. She's only been doing this 4 months. I've been doing this 2 years, over 2 years. Yeah. So there's that. So I am going to make more videos, and I'm sorry, guys, they're going to be about bags. Um, I do have kind of a manly bag since you're all guys in here. Um, it's a new one. It's the VanQuest Dendrite, and it's touted as a tactical bag. I had a subscriber ask me to do more tactical bags, and I'm not really a tactical person. I mean, I like backpacks and stuff, but I'm not like tactical. Yeah. So I'm tactile. I can feel things, but I'm not tactical. But yeah, this is touted as a tactical bag, kind of like the 511, where it's got the loop material in the back, so you can put like a holster or something in here, which yeah, I won't do, but whatever. Uh, caught a little bit of flack. The what was it? The medium sized bags. I just showed what like that my pistol wouldn't fit, and I caught a little bit of flack over that, which kind of surprised me. So, but anyway, um, this has got a lot of organization in it. It is a big bag. It is a large, but so I review these bags and then I sell them on Facebook. So I try to buy what I think people will want to buy on Facebook. So I keep some of them. I keep the ones I like. Um, I like I said, that the one I got from TEMU will go to the grandson. We're taking him on vacation next month for his birthday, and so he will be sporting a fanny pack. 4 years old. Start him in. Roy says, Nikon used to send me t-shirts, great for when I go to Sony or Fuji events. Right? Yeah, and a lot of those, I've gotten vendor shirts before, and they were actually pretty nice shirts. Uh, Lowe's held a pro event and had shirts made, and they are the cheapest. I mean, literally one time use thing. I don't think I'd even wash it. It'd probably fall apart. They are like stupid thin. The screen printing on them is okay, but the quality of the material of the shirt, yeah. Yeah. Roy says bag is big enough for a medium tele lens. Uh, well, when you put all your stuff in here, I was able to get, in fact, I still have it out here. I was able to get the point and shoot camera in there, and I was able to get the action camera in there. Not able to get the M6. So it may be deceiving. I suppose you could get it in there, but it would be really, and that doesn't have a lens on it, but it's only, you can see it. Yeah, it's only, I don't know if you can tell. See if I can get it. It's only like that wide. So what is that, 2 inches? It's just not very wide. So I guess it's a little wider than that. It's stretched out here as far as it'll go. Okay. So as far as it'll go, maybe 4 inches. So yeah, maybe. But from on the inside, it just does not look like it has that much room. So, but I'll be comparing it to a couple of others. And then once I'm done with the small, medium, and large, then I'm going to get back into camera bags. So, because that's kind of what I like. I don't know how I got started on these fanny packs. I really don't remember how I got started on that. But, and they're okay. But if it's not big enough to even hold an action camera, I probably don't need it. Now, yeah, no, I probably don't need it because I pretty much take one of these with me in the truck all the time. Now, with the weather being 103, I will admit I do not have a camera in the car. Okay. It's just too hot and no, so they get to stay in the air conditioning. Yeah. 'Cause that's where your camera should be, in the air conditioning. But yeah, it was 103 today. So too hot. Roy says maybe the bag is big enough then to hold all your money. Oh, it's big. It's plenty. Yeah. Uh-huh. I believe I could get pretty much, if I cashed everything out in $100 bills, I'd have room to spare. Yeah. I don't need a large fanny pack for that. So, but yeah, I'm kind of, I don't want to say I have ADHD, but I kind of do because doing the small and then the medium, and then I was kind of done. I went ahead and did the large just because I said I would, but I the large on me is like any way you wear it is too big. It's just if you try to wear it as a sling, it pretty much goes from your waist to your shoulder. If you try to wear it like a fanny pack thing, it wraps halfway around you. So it's like, plus the bigger it is, the more stuff I would fill it up with. So then you're talking a weight issue, right? So you definitely would have to be a bigger guy. Well, even this is, I think, the smallest of the bunch. And look how big that is. I mean, can you see me wearing that? Like, or, yeah, no. So, I think medium. I think I'm going to settle on the medium because I do like that one quite a bit, but I can't get a camera in it. So, I do have, I'm going to do a PGY Tech, where I have a backpack, a messenger bag, and a camera fanny pack. And then I think it's a Ulanzi. Um, messenger bag one. I do have some things in the works. So, and but yeah, I think for my size, small to medium. Roy says, I like a single bag, less to forget when you pack up to leave. So when you say a single bag, do you mean like a dump bag? Or you just want to carry one bag? Because that's pretty much me. I would just like to carry one bag. And normally, I love my backpacks. I absolutely adore my backpacks. And that is pretty much goes everywhere with me. But it has been so hot for so long. I mean, we're in like week 6 of this over 100-degree weather. I can't take a camera out there because sitting in the hot truck, it would bake it. I'd come back and it'd be melted plastic. So uh, I guess that's why I kind of turned to looking at a fanny pack, because I am used to carrying a backpack and it has my billfold and everything else in there. Which is why I like a camera bag with an admin so I can get my cards and have all the little slots and everything. I don't care about a laptop because I don't even have a laptop. So I don't care if it will hold a laptop or not. It just needs to have the admin stuff and enough room for my cameras. And, but in this heat, I haven't taken my camera backpack out probably since early June. It's just been too hot. So I take these little fanny packs and they kind of act the same. But another thing, that the reason I wouldn't like the big ones, I don't want to have to take it off every time I get in and out of the truck. And if it's big, it's going to get in the way of the seatbelt, or you're going to have to take it off, or. So the smaller it is, if I can just slide it over the side, put my seatbelt on and go, then do my seatbelt, hop out, do my little thing. That's kind of where I'm at. Yeah. So, yes, Roy, I agree. I don't want to have multiple bags. I don't want to have a bag for this and a bag for that. I just want everything to fit in one bag. Everybody get along and let's go type thing. Speaking of sling, how is the strained shoulder doing today? So, Sunday is actually day 10. It'd be all right. Yeah. I'm not going to be cut on or anything, so it had better heal up on its own. Thank you very much. That's all I have to say. Roy says 1 bag for camera stuff and 1 for lighting. Well, no, I could see if you're setting up and taking like quality portraits that you would want to have lighting. About the only thing I would want to have lighting for is because the sun goes down. So yeah, I don't need a whole lot of lighting. I don't care if I'm somewhat in the shadows. I'm fine with that. Peter says, oops, I forgot to hit the thumbs up. Just did it now. Feel better now. Good. I haven't even looked, Peter. We have 4. So I don't know who hasn't hit the thumbs up, but please do. Please do. More, sir, please. More, sir. Yes. No, it's I think that there's only, what did it say? There's 7 people in here. Do I count as one? Or do we have some lurkers? Yeah. But yeah, so I will continue with the bag theme because that seems to be fairly popular. I don't know that we'll go a whole lot more tactical. That's just not really, I mean, I guess I could. Tactical means anything that you can put a gun in. It's tactical. So I now have 2, which I do kind of like the 511, only because it has the modified thing. This one you can't modify. It is what it is. It does have a little, you can attach it to another bag, but you can't modify it to where one is like straight up and yeah, out. No. So it's okay. Um, but, and if tactical is your thing, you'd probably like it. I'm just not really that tactical. Yeah. Peter says the lighting bags look very different, like golf bags. I forgot. I have a few of those. So I have seen somebody sent me a thing. I think it was Adorama, where they had I want to say it was a Godox bag, and it was like long, long, very long, and very kind of skinny, not very, like it wasn't very tall, but it was on wheels, so you can carry it through an airport. It's not something I will ever do. Yeah. So, but it was nice of them to think of me. Um, can I get promoted to lurker? No, no. Sorry, Roy. We know you're here, buddy. Yeah. So if you quit talking, we'll just talk about you. Yeah, that's how that works. Peter says, I'm a lurker and shy. Ah, false and super false. Yeah. So, you know who I have not seen in a while is Kyle. Subcultured Outcast um, has not come in and said hi at all. So I was kind of one of those things that makes you go, did I say something? But yeah, it's all good. So, um, is there anything that you guys would like me to review? I'm telling you guys, if you, I know none of you like to shop. So Roy, have your wife go online. Uh, it's mobile app only as far as I can tell, because I have tried to look it up on the big computer and I couldn't find it. So I think it's mobile app only. But these things are super cool. This is probably my favorite find of the month, right? I don't know that I would ever keep anything back here, but I mean it's big. You could keep something back there. But I just think, and you could hang it, I guess, if you wanted to hang it around your neck. But I don't know. I just think that is so neat that it holds everything and it holds it pretty well. I mean, I think the multi-tool, if you turn it upside down, the multi-tool would fall out. But it's heavy, right? So yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Um, but that's just so compact. And they're actually pretty well made. I'm not going to say they're the best, but I haven't been able to find like a broken thread, or I haven't been able to find anything wrong with the stitching, the quality. It's like a nylon. Here, let's do the one that doesn't have anything in it. It's like a nylon, kind of a rugged, it's as rugged as that Vanquest thing. Um, but this pocket is big. This is two little pockets. And then these are like just elastic straps. That should be clear as mud, right? You like that demonstration right there? Tonight, Kyle and Scott. I have not seen Scott. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Didn't Scott come in right at the beginning? I think he did. Yes, Scott was here right at the beginning. Randy said Scott was here. Yes, yes, yes. And Carlos. Hi, Sly. Love your commitment to the bags. You've developed deep bag knowledge and insight that only a true bag enthusiast can do. You see bags in a way that many of us can't. Thank you, I think. Um, so, Carlos, this came about because I'm trying to increase my subscribers. And this lady, who I think is from Oklahoma, only does bags, right? Not purses, but like fanny packs and like bags, not camera bags, no camera bags, right? And she's been doing it 4 months and she's already ahead of me and she never shows her face. She has a phone camera, like an iPhone, over her shoulder, aiming down at the desk, and all you see is her hands. And she's just showing the bags, showing what it does, and she just talks, but you never see her face. And so I'm thinking, I can do this. And a lot of it too depends on if YouTube picks it up. Okay. The dinosaur video that we can all agree was not very good quality. YouTube picked it up and it got up to like close to 400. And then when they stopped promoting it, it hasn't done anything. So my medium bag review has taken off, which tells me that YouTube is promoting it. But I'm good with that. He is with Norm on the couch. Okay. Norm might be on the couch. Scott probably fell asleep. Peter says, "Oh, I missed him. Was he in my show and I missed him there too?" Yes, you did. You did. Scott says, Scott got a call from a girl just before 10 and she's a talker. Most girls are. That's, you're excused. That's a good excuse. Peter says, better you than me, Scotty. Let me tell you who's a talker. We won't go there. Randy says, Scott, so what are we eating tonight? Yeah, you didn't have a menu tonight at Peter's. So were you waiting to bring it here? Peter says, you need a different dating site. Quality seems low. That is only funny, and the only reason I'm laughing at that so hard is because I have gone down that road, and I could write a book along the lines. We're all pretty old in here. You guys remember Irma Bombeck? Okay. Hugely funny woman. I could write a book about dating sites in an Irma Bombeck style. Okay. I have had some of the absolute worst dates. But people promote themselves so well. And then you meet them in person and you're like, oh my. And, I'm one of these people who everything's written on my face. So, if I'm thinking, oh my. Yeah, it's not good. It's nice to be missed. My ex-wife never felt that way towards me. She never thought, is Scott in the room? No? Okay. Well, Royce says to Peter, I didn't know YouTube was still a dating site. Still? Was YouTube ever a dating site? See, I didn't find out about YouTube until probably 3 years ago. And I think YouTube has been around for like a very, very long time. But yeah, I didn't know it existed until about 3 years ago. So, but then I'm slow. Technology and me are not friends. I have to find out from people who are friends with technology when they gossip. That's how I find out about stuff. Yeah. So, but when I do find something, I do try to share it because maybe you guys are as in the dark as I was. Peter says, I think some of your dates were awesome, Sly, as long as you weren't the one on them. No, it wouldn't have mattered who was on them. They still would not have been awesome. Yeah. Roy says YouTube started off as a dating site. Really? I had no idea. I think Peter's been on it for 12 years. Yeah, I didn't know that, honestly. No, I have tried OkCupid because I thought it was an Oklahoma-based dating site. It's not. I've tried Plenty of Fish. Do not recommend. I tried eHarmony. Yeah. A very good friend of mine actually got married off somebody she met off eHarmony. Great. It just, not for me. So I'm very content. I did get thinking about the other day. because somebody said they would have to ask their husband. And I'm thinking, that would drive me insane. I am not good, at asking if I can go somewhere or if I can buy something, or I just do what I want to do. So it would be very hard for me to be part of a couple, I think. Yeah. Only because it would annoy the other person so much. Scott says, Randy, ham with Swiss cheese, ooh, pickled cucumber, and a few chips, followed by chocolate ice cream in a waffle cone. Ooh, that sounds yummy. Can we have just a little? If we're going to have chocolate ice cream in a waffle cone, it needs just a little bit of marshmallow topping. Just saying. Yeah, but that does sound yummy. I made a hamburger and had, my daughter's birthday was yesterday. So happy birthday, Brady. And well, her birthday's today, but I took her out for birthday dinner yesterday. And we got one of those bloomin' onion things, which I adore. And so as we were getting ready to leave and everybody was claiming the food they want, everyone at the table was like, you want the bloomin' onion? Yes, I do. Thank you very much. Just put it in with me. And so I heat it up in my air fryer, and it makes it taste just as fresh as it was last night. So, yeah. Peter says Roy is wrong. It's date and figs. Figs? Okay. That's really bad. Yeah. Um, Roy says Peter should have found a date by now then. Right? And Randy's saying, yummy for my tummy. You guys, we know each other way too well. Carlos says, totally get it, Sly. There's a gal who creates videos much like mine who's been creating for 3 months and has 2.5 subs already. The algorithm has picked her up. Yes, it is all about YouTube. So, how they pick and choose, I don't know, but they do. And and you can tell. Now, some of my videos they have not picked up, and they have done very well on their own. And I say that because it's taken them 2 years to get where they are. But like one of them is over 5,000 views, but that has taken 2 years to get there. So that wasn't something YouTube picked up. Another video was picked up by a Toyota forum, and so that's why it's done very well. It doesn't have anything to do with YouTube. But so yeah, it is all kind of a game. But yeah, I don't know. If bags will get me there, man, I'll talk about every bag under the sun. You know? Roy says, I like dates and figs. I'm here for Scotty's dessert. You can't have Scotty's chocolate ice cream. You'll have to make your own, Peter. And you certainly can't have any marshmallow topping. You could put some sour cream. Does that go good with chocolate ice cream? Probably not. Coffee ice cream. That sounds pretty good too. Scott says match, POF, plenty of fish, Zooks. I can't recommend any of them. I 100% agree with you. Totally do. Yep. Peter, I'll watch you on the rewind. He actually had a lot of really interesting camera stuff tonight. So, about weights and vlogging and, all that good stuff. So, yes, I am very aware of weight. As most of you know, I started with an 80 and a 90D when I got into digital. I got the 90D first, and then the 80D went on sale, and I bought one of those. For some reason, I think I need multiple cameras. I'm not sure why. So anyway, those were impossible to vlog with. And I think on the when I went to Florida a couple years ago, I think, and they stayed in the camera bag pretty much the whole time. And I'm lugging all this equipment in and out of every hotel we stayed in, and it was not a joyful experience, let me tell you. And the one that sat beside me the whole time was an Osmo. So there's a little video somewhere on my channel that shows you that trip, and it was pretty much all, I think it was all shot with an Osmo. Um, so, if they're big, I'm not going to use them. And if you have a camera and you're not going to use it, then it's doing you no good. I don't care if it's a $6,000 camera. If you're not using it, it's not doing you any good, right? So, and that's just my opinion. I mean, I use everything I have. So, um, to me, this little old camera is worth more than the expensive R5, I think it is. Because this one I would carry with me, and that one I would not. So, um, it's all about, what you're going to use, what your uses are, what your needs are. And I just really like something lightweight because, I think I'm probably stronger than the average from a woman, but there is a limit. And I'm only 5'4", so my wingspan is not just real big, So, yeah, I need a wide lens, preferably one that softens the wrinkles at arm's length, you know. And so I think what I found kind of fits the bill. Um, the little G7X is it's a really nice camera. I found this little lens cover, which you're not supposed to really put one on there, but whatever. Um, but you don't have to put a lens on. You don't have to do anything to it. You just turn it on. It's ready. If you want to take a video, if you want to take a picture, it's ready that quick, right? That's all you gotta do is take that little cover off. And now you're good to go. And now I don't have to worry about a lot of these little point and shoot cameras. The the little fins right there get messed up. And so I found this little plastic cover and it just fits perfect. So I can put it, down in something. I don't have to worry about hurting those little things that shut. But yeah, that's just my take on it. It's just, I don't care how expensive your equipment is. If you don't use it, then my cheap equipment is worth more than your expensive equipment. So whatever gets the job done, right? Right, Myrtle? Randy says, coffee lover's delight from Cold Stone Creamery. I think we may still have a Cold Stone Creamery in Tulsa. And is that the one where they like fold the ice cream over and they beat it up and and it's really good. It's expensive, but it's really good. Roy is talking to Randy saying coffee is my favorite food group. It should be its own, right? It's a bean. It should be its own food group. It's good for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Carlos says whatever will get us there, right? Now, I would hope that if somebody spent $5,000 on a camera that they would use it. But some of those cameras are so big and heavy, it can't be your daily driver, I wouldn't think. But I could be wrong. I've made a convert out of Peter, and that took some doing. Randy coined the term rewind, and I love it. I stole it from Randy, using it myself now. So have you noticed, Peter, you're picking up a lot of Midwestern words, like minute. It's been a minute. And winter, winter, chicken dinner, although they say that in Australia too. I would think y'all would say like winter, winter, kangaroo dinner. I don't know. Marsupial dinner. I don't know. Do you eat any of the wildlife there? Like, we eat deer and turkey and I'm trying to think what else. We're not like the Beverly Hillbillies. We don't eat possum and raccoon and what have you. But, Randy says, just go to the grocery store and play bumping carts. You will either find a match or go home with a lot of bruises. So the thing about the grocery store, Randy, you have to walk by somebody 2 or 3 times before you bump their cart, because you have to look in their cart and you have to see what they eat. Okay? And if they eat a bunch of stuff you don't like, you're probably not going to be a good match. So you find a cart that's got stuff that you like in it, then you can bump them. I'm just saying. I got this shopping cart thing down. Roy says at least you can watch things at 2 times speed afterwards. Oh, yeah, that's true. So Peter did a video this week of him mowing the backyard or side yard or whatever with a push mower. And he sped it up. And my grandson thought that was the funniest thing he has ever seen in his life. He thought Peter was actually walking that fast. And he's like, wow, he really moves fast when he mows the yard. But why is he walking like that? Like, well, he put it on fast forward. And so it's like 2 or 4 times the speed of what he normally would. He didn't understand that at all. And he just thought, and then he thought Peter was mowing the yard so that we could come over and play in his yard. He doesn't realize he lives like 1,000 miles away, but that's okay. Ooh, lemon bars with fresh lemon and graham cracker crust and the lemon. That sounds good. It all sounds pretty good. But I did make hamburgers tonight with my onions, so I made hamburgers and had the onions with the hamburger. That made more sense. Scott says, Roy, I like Peter's marathon 6-hour streams. Got me through the lockdown, right? I remember one night he did like a 7-hour. Yeah, with no breaks. That was pretty incredible. And if I remember right, I think he stood up through most of it. So, yeah. Lemon bars with vanilla ice cream. I need a psychologist. And Roy's talking to Scott, says, every time I sit down for an edit, the chat distracts me. I hate using Photoshop. Yeah, my son thinks that I need to start editing for other people because I do like the editing process. I don't know. I think I like it because it's something new to learn, and I'm all about that. So Roy says fit for purpose is better than new and overpriced. Yes, I 100% agree with that. So it really, I'm always hopeful when they come out with a new camera because eventually mine will become obsolete. Eventually. And so, I do look when something new comes out, but I have not found anything yet. Like the Osmo 4, okay, really got my ears to perk up, and I set up straight to attention, and okay, this is, because I'm still running the original Osmos. So the Osmo 4, bigger sensor, better in low light, same form factor, really kind of caught my attention. And I'm thinking, okay, I can permanently mount these two on the kayak and then have the Osmo 4 for vlogging or what have you. And then I really got to doing some research because on the surface, that sounds like a really good idea. The picture, the product that I would get for my $500 is not a $500 improvement. So at that point you go, okay, well, what I have works fine. And I have two of the exact same thing, and they share batteries, they share cages, they share everything because they're the same camera. And it's not a $500 upgrade. So yeah, I kind of changed my mind on getting a Osmo 4. I was all set too because I just thought, that it was going to be so much better than what I had, and it's just not. So in about 10 years, I'll probably have to relook things, but I do, whenever somebody brings out something new, I do look, and I do kind of have that, ooh, I want one of those. And then when I really get to researching it, do I really want one of those? So I wanted a camera for here because this camera, if I ever need to take two with me, this is going to be the one that goes. So I wanted one that would just sit here and do nothing but sit there. It never goes anywhere. It's just, this is its life right here. And I could have bought $1,000 camera to just sit here. And that would have been kind of silly. So I think that possibly this camera and lens combination looks a little bit better, to be honest. But if a camera is going to go with me, it's going to be this one, because this is the M6 Mark II. So, you kind of have to weigh and measure, and is it worth an upgrade, or is it really an upgrade? Or are you just spending money because you can? Yeah. Peter says we talk all about the camera and almost nothing about the content. Who do? Scott says, I hear you, Roy. I spent the equivalent of many years in front of the Photoshop screen. Yeah, see, I missed all that. For one thing, when I got back into it, it was really shortly after I got into it that I found you guys, right? And so you guys have kind of led me on the path. And so, I mean, I did start with DaVinci, but for not very long. And then got the Mac and got into Final Cut Pro. And so I don't have experience with Photoshop. Um, I understand you can do a lot of stuff with Photoshop. Something else to learn. Roy's talking to Scott saying, I've used Photoshop since it was called Display, and I've had enough. Okay, I've had enough. I like how you say that. Roy says, we eat emu, crocodile, and kangaroo. I have tried alligator. I think it was alligator. Didn't like it. I don't like deer either. So, I don't like bison. I really am not into exotics. They apparently down south in southern Oklahoma, they eat rattlesnake, and it's supposed to be a delicacy. Yeah, I don't think I would want to do that either. Roy says, Chuck of AP Studios did a 10.5 hour stream. Peter was there. Yeah, I was there that night too. I wasn't, I think I did try to come on, but I wasn't on. I tried a couple of times. So, Peter says, yeah, Chuck was 10.5 hours. Mine was only 7.5. Clearly we need more women around. That would just be a distraction, Peter. It seems Chuck doesn't pay all that much attention. Yeah, no, he doesn't. So, and that's okay. I'm not for everybody, trust me. That ship, I already know about that. Hi, Sly and all. Hi, Jeff. How was your week? Just popped in to say hello. I will take a look later. Spending time with the grandchildren today. So, yeah, I had mine Wednesday night, Thursday, and he went home today about 2. So, yeah, I really cherish, and I pretty much won't let anything interfere with that time. So I don't get a whole lot done because I really focus on him. So enjoy your grandchildren, Jeff. I'm glad you popped in. Jeff he's always been so supportive. So thank you. Randy says, pecans and praline ice cream time. I think so. I think we're well over the hour. So yes, I think it is ice cream time. Carlos says, my first intro to Peter Gregg was a 7-hour marathon stream during the lockdown. Thought this dude is nuts. Okay, so you were there that night. Was that when he was still calling you Oscar? Yeah, I was there. In fact, I left him running This is when my computer was in the bedroom, actually. And I left him running, and I just went and was doing other stuff, and I'd come back in, and he'd still be going for like the whole night, like into the morning. I mean, it was insane. But I think he stood up the whole time. So that's so Chuck may have gone longer, but he was sitting down. Peter was standing up. Grandkids are the awesomest. Awesomest awesome. And puppies too. Yeah, we had a puppy incident the last couple days. Uh, Peter says Carlos is just right sometimes. I'm thinking Carlos is right pretty much most of the time, because Carlos strikes me as the kind who thinks about what he says before he says it. I just blurt things out, right? If it comes into the, like, there's no filter, right? But I think Carlos thinks about what he's going to say before he says it, so I think he probably is right most of the time. Or we missed you. Or we missed you. I'd have to go back up and see what the other one was. Dude is nice, or we missed you. Okay. Mark. Well, welcome. I don't think I've seen you in here before. So thanks for coming in. AI is making things easier, especially Photoshop. That's, yeah, I have heard, I've seen the commercials of what Photoshop will do. I've just never personally used it. Roy says Chuck is still very ill. We miss his show. So yeah, I've noticed he hasn't like been on in over a month. I have not heard what's up, but yeah, I've prayed for him. Yes, Sly Oscar. Yeah, see, I remember. Peter saying, "Hi, Oscar, love you, dude." Yeah, I just had to bring that back up, didn't I? Yeah, just pot, stir, kettle black, yeah. Roy says, my daughter brings home stray cats, dogs, and boyfriends. We kept the cat. Yeah, that's, my daughter has a new friend, and she asked me that I be nice, and, which, I mean, no, I'm not. If somebody mistreats one of my children, that's pretty much it. I'm pretty much never nice to them again. So, but she does have kind of a history of dating a lot of people, and so I don't really try to chummy up with any of them until they've been around for at least 6 months minimum. And then it's iffy, but this new friend she's got, I'm quite fond of. So, Peter says, Mark, love you, big guy. Happy to see you. You're the best. Yes, Mark, you do take amazing pictures. I have been on I think it was your website. And they remind me of my ex-husband used to be a photographer. And he took pictures of his brother in what they call a Mayhew mansion. It's no longer around, but it went into ruin, and the boys went up and took pictures, and they got some amazing pictures. And your photography style reminds me of his. He's never been famous, so I'm not, you wouldn't know. You could look up Mayhew Mansion and you'll probably find it, but yeah, there's that. So Roy says selective imagery is standing in for Chuck tomorrow in 18 hours time. So 6 o'clock to Saturday night. Saturday night. Okay. Who is selective imagery? I'm sure it's somebody on his panel, but Oscar loves you too, Peter. That's just hilarious because you don't look like an Oscar at all. I mean, yeah, I identify you with you as Carlos, but I think if I were to just see you and not know your name, I would maybe think you were a Bill. I don't know. But not an Oscar. Oscar wouldn't come to mind. Peter says, Roy, should I go over there to help out, or are they flying okay on their own? Not sure, because I feel I might be interfering where I need to keep my nose out. So you lurk. And then if the opportunity presents itself, then you jump in. It doesn't have to be a planned thing, I don't think. Mark says, thanks, Peter. This is my second time here. Oh, okay. Thanks. I'm redesigning my website as we speak with some beers. Cheers to the beers. Well, I'm glad you're here, Mark. Yeah, I keep kind of late night hours. So it's way past some people's bedtime. Roy says to Peter, I'm certain you are always welcome. See? Yeah, I think I think this community, one of the things that Chuck wanted to do was to get other creators to kind of become a community. And I really think that this community, which was started by Peter, has already done that, right? Because all of you guys are absolutely fantastic. I could ask any of you for advice, for whatever, and your opinions about stuff, and you're so forthcoming with your knowledge that it's blown me away. I mean, there's no other industry that I can think of where people are this open, right? And so that's what really has made me want to continue with this group, is because you guys are the bomb diggity. I mean, you just, every one of you, I could ask any of you, well, what do you think about this? Or like I thought I was looking for a battery grip for the M6. Carlos, man, he's right there, right? When I was looking at I sold the 90D and I was looking at buying something else. And, Peter is right there with, well, this is good. This is, this is the new, this is the, the good, bad, and the ugly type thing. I mean, just right there. So thank you guys so very, very much. You have been, a shining star in a sea of darkness. So I really do appreciate it, because there's very few women that like to talk about cameras and gear. And like, I love my friends to death, but most of them don't want to talk about cameras. Debbie, she shoots sports, like high school sports, and she's very good at it. And she likes to talk cameras, but she's one in a million. There's just not very many women out there. So I appreciate you guys letting me be part of the group, and that you guys are supporting me, and just thank you. Yeah, I Friday nights are really special to me. Mark says, I'm a night owl as well, always have been. I edit longer in the night with a bottle of wine, but I think a lot of artists are night owls in my experience. Well, I'm not artistic in any way, shape, or form, but I am definitely a night owl. So, and I work on Sundays. My work week starts on Sunday. And so Friday night is my Saturday. And so Saturdays, I'm usually, most people are out doing their errands and what have you, which I do on Fridays. So 10:30 is like, there have been several nights where I feel like I've just like run and turned on the computer and poof, here I am, made it by the hair's breadth. So, yeah, 10:30 is not late for me by any stretch of the imagination. But I am glad that you're home, because I think you're in Chicago, if I remember right, and it's midnight. So a wise man once told me that nothing good ever happens after midnight if you're out. So I'm glad you're home. Have a beer. But guys, it is midnight, so I am going to call it a night. I thank you all for coming in. Thank you all for supporting me. And we will do this again next week. Again, if you haven't checked out Fourth Wall. Check that out. Really good quality shirts. His crew, he's got one that says crew and one that says something else. Those are really cool designs. So might have to pick one of those up next. Mark says, would you say you like the tech side of cameras more than the artistic side? Yes. Yes. Um, I look at people like you, who are so artistic, and the way that you see things. You did a building, and it was all about the vertical lines, and it just blew me away, right? Um, you artists see things that I don't see. I'm very, very, very mechanical, but I am not artsy at all. Like, not even a little bit. So, um, yeah, I'm definitely about the mechanics and the techs, specs, and all that good stuff. But not so much about seeing things like a photographer sees things through the lens. Hang on just a second. So now I love to learn, and I love when people will tell me, well, if you do this, like the water, that's going to be my next learning experience, is using an ND filter to make the water look fluffy, I guess, like clouds. I haven't done that, but so yeah, I mean, I like to learn, but it doesn't come natural. Let's put it that way. Yeah. So Peter says I'm going to pee, so good night, all. I think I'm going to go eat some ice cream because somebody brought that up, Scott, and it sounds really good. I haven't had dessert, so. Mark says we need the tech people to let us know what we're holding in our hands, the ins and outs. So Mark, I don't know if you were on Peter's tonight or not, but he was talking all about cameras, and he's been vlogging, or he's been out walking in his yard and doing outside stuff. And so he has started noticing what I've been saying like for a year, was that a camera gets very heavy if you're trying to film yourself, right? And you're holding it out for any extended period of time. And so tonight it was all about the weight of the lenses and the cameras, and kind of more the tech side. So, but I think, man, if I remember right, do you shoot with micro four thirds? I think. I may be wrong. Maybe you shoot full frame. Don't know. Roy says, I've seen too many blurred waterfalls to get excited. Well, honestly, I like it when the water looks clearer, but I do want to play around with it, just for grins and giggles. So, Peter says, Randy is having pralines and cream. Yeah, I think I have cherry vanilla, butter pecan, and chocolate in there. So I don't know. It's all about the weight of that ice cream. Yeah, well, I like my ice cream heavy and my camera's light. Roy says, everyone needs to learn lighting, a much better improvement than a new camera. So, Roy, you've not said anything about the lighting. So, um, as fellow YouTubers, we watch other YouTubers, and when we see a set we like or whatever, we try to kind of recreate, not duplicate it, but kind of recreate the look, kind of. And so Peter saw somebody that had, I think he sent me the link, and the guy had purple, maybe purple on one side and blue on the other, maybe. Um, I'm not the biggest fan of purple, just because I think it's been like hugely overdone, and I just really kind of like the red and yellow. But teach their own, right? But I did move the lights. Now, I have noticed, since I've been sitting here talking to you, that with the light over here, it takes away from this light and it takes away from the moon. Like it almost washes the moon out, so you can't hardly see it. And honestly, you can't really tell if the sign's on or not, to be honest. So I don't know. You guys tell me. I mean, do you like this better? If not, I can always put it back. Or I could change it to different colors if you don't like the... But I thought the red and the orange really goes well with my shirt tonight. So there's that. Mark says, I did hear that. I shoot with Fujifilm in full frame. Okay. Depending on what I'm shooting or where I am. That was another thing that we were talking about was, what you're running gun camera. And I film in so many different situations. I may be filming myself paddling down a river. Obviously, I'm not going to take a camera that's not waterproof. I do have a habit of capsizing regularly. So, yeah, I've already lost one of these to the river. But obviously, if I'm doing that, then I would take this camera. If I'm, theme parks have a limit as to what you can take in. And so you want like the smallest thing you have. So I would take the G7X. And then, for my daily, just running around in my daily bag, I carry the M6. So, yeah, it really does depend, I think, on what what you're doing, what you're trying to film, type thing. Slaughter did her lights. Nice job there again. Yes. So, this is all because of you, Peter. This is. So, what do you think? Yeah, nice job. Okay. Mark says, in my experience, not one person from an art gallery owner to a client of mine can't tell the difference between a full frame photo or an APS-C. I agree 100%. 100%. I also, unless you're gonna blow something up really big, I don't think in a 4x6 picture that you can tell the difference between a 12 megapixel and a 32 megapixel. It's just my personal thought. Somebody who is looking at one, I found a bunch of photos that were never put in anything and they were left out in the garage in the heat, and so they faded really, really badly, but you can still see, who's in them and what they are. But they're hugely faded, right? And my son loved going through them. He's like, oh my gosh. And these pictures are like 20 years old. So they've been out in the heat for years. And, you had to kind of pry certain parts off one, to get, and he just had a ball looking at them. So as far as the actual picture, I have some from my mother's mother, my grandmother, and everybody's gone now. So we have no idea who these people are. There's no writing on them. Yeah, I have a whole book of them. And they're little bitty. They're like 10 picture, 10, like TIN, 10. But there's a whole photo album and nobody knows who any of these people are. So I think a lot of people get very serious about photography, and I think it's for fun. I really do. In 2 generations, unless you've labeled and documented who is who, within 2 generations, nobody's going to know. My great grandchildren will probably not have any idea who I am. So that's all it takes is 2 generations. Roy says, I watch your channel for content, not to complain about your lighting. Well, I know, but I do want it to look like nice. It, I have to be really careful what I put above me because this white hair is very, very reflective. So if you shine a red light on the white hair, it turns pink, you know. Um, yeah, you just have to be really careful with what kind of light you put above you. So a lot of times if I'm outside, I put a cap on. It's the easy way to do it. Mark says, you put a camera in my hands and I can get something out of it, digital or film. Yeah, see, Mark, I started with film cameras. Um, they did digital wasn't out yet. So with film, you had to be a little more precise. Uh, you had to, you couldn't just point and shoot, point and shoot, point and shoot because you were paying for the developing, the prints. I mean, and then you get them, and out of a roll of 12, you might have three that were worth showing to people. Okay. The rest of them were like, oh, they blinked, or, oh, they turned their head just as I was snapping, or, something. Now with the digital age, you can look at, yeah, I don't like that. Let me redo it, and it's so much easier. But yeah, back in the day, you really, which is why I would never shoot a wedding, because all of those pictures need to count, or you'd have to shoot so many. If you average 3 out of a dozen and you want to get a portfolio to give the bride of 150 pictures, it's a lot of picture taking, a lot of money. Um, and Mark, that's why Fuji soars. It just does it right. So, I have actually looked, I was Canon when I was film, and I had Canon lenses, and that's kind of why I've stayed in the Canon family. But when I look at the Fuji, like Charles does Fujifilm, I'm pretty impressed with it. It actually looks like the colors are pretty much spot on. Now, my favorite camera of Peter's is the Olympus. As far as for his skin tones, I've always thought that was his best looking camera. And it doesn't seem like he had to tweak it. Now, he's got the Panasonic looking really, really good, but he's had to work at it. And I don't think with the Olympus, he had to work that hard. So I'm just saying. Roy says, whatever sensor you use, and art director will think it needs to be more. Oh, whatever sensor you use, an art director will think it needs to be more. Yes, I probably agree with that. Yeah, I do have people that are like that. Roy, oh, see, I got it. I got it, Roy. I'm getting good at, reading non-English. Roy says, I'm 90% retired now. It's a relief to be able to take images to please myself. Yeah, I actually, the travel videos that I put up are more for my family than they are for the YouTube community. If somebody gets some pleasure out of them, great. But they're more of a legacy that I can leave for my family. So, and probably by the time little man's grown, technology will be so far ahead that those will be like, looking at the old 8mm reel to reel. Peter says, I think your new lighting slide, even if Roy thinks it's terrible. I think you mean you like it. And Roy didn't say it was terrible. He just said he doesn't come to see the lights, which I appreciate. Mark, I want your opinion, Mark, because you're probably the most artistic person here, right? Because I've seen your work. So, what do you think of the lights? He says, you got that right, Peter. Fujifilm niche. Roy says, I was happy to get one frame from a roll that I liked. See, that's but when you were shooting film and you were having to pay for every click, right? You you got a lot better fast. So I have noticed a lot of people with digital cameras aren't very good because they can just keep deleting until they get a good shot. And then when you look at the last 10 or 12 shots, they're all pretty good because they've deleted 50. But when you're paying for every click, mm-hmm. Mark says shooting film for a wedding sounds like a headache. Yeah, I agree. I agree. You would have so many power struggles that I would think it would be kind of a nightmare. The weddings that I have been to, I feel for the photographers because they looked overworked and underpaid. I do a lot of street photography, so I have to stay discreet. So Fujifilm cameras give me that. Well, I was talking earlier about these little card cases I got off TEMU, and um, I wouldn't say that I'm in your face, but people notice that you're walking around with a camera and you're talking to it. So every single time somebody will ask me, "Oh, are you a YouTuber? What do you do?" Yada yada. So I had cards made up, and every time I give somebody a card, I get a subscriber. So it does kind of work, but you know, I'm not gonna say I don't try to be discreet, but I don't try to be, in your face either. So, um, Roy's talking to Mark. I shot a couple of weddings, never again. And Mark says, I like the lights and your lighting in general. If I had one critique, I would like it to be darker in the back. Right? It's kind of what I thought. Like, like maybe turn the lights. I think they're at 50% right now. Uh, just see if we can do this. Better? A little better? That's at 20%. So I do like the darker background where it's just like Lewis, Mr. Camera Junkie. I love his. He's got that Ecamm sign in the background, but everything else is really, really dark, and I really like that. I don't know. This room is kind of small, and I don't really know how to achieve that. I'll work on that. See what we can come up with for next week. Because your opinion, I do value your opinion, Mark. Roy says, I still have the habit of shooting only a couple dozen frames at a time. It's because you're a film guy. You're not having to pay for every frame now, but yeah, you're a film guy. Peter said shooting weddings is like getting into the boxing ring, right? Yeah, I could see that. I could just between what the bride wants, it's her day, but mom thinks it's kind of her day because it's her daughter. There's just a lot of dynamics there that I wouldn't want to be anywhere in the middle of. Uh, Maybe have Sly and LED lights. It's cheap. Sly and LED lights. Oh, you mean like the bottom, like putting LEDs on this one? Because this sign uh, was made by a very special friend of my son's, and I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. That was a Christmas gift, and I just thought, how did you do that? I just thought that was too awesome. Um, but I could probably like take those little fairy lights and wrap them around the letters. Is that what you're talking about? Roy is saying to Mark, my Fujifilm isn't discrete. It's a GX680 with phase one. Okay. Is that the one that weighs like 4 kilograms? Uh, Mark says he's laughing at Roy. You're right. I have an X Pro 3 and a 100V. I don't know what either one of those are. Roy's talking about, I guess I'm not the discrete type. Roy, I think you're large and in charge type. Yeah, you know exactly what you're talking about. You have an answer. I've never seen you be without an. I've never seen you be stumped. Okay, and usually whatever they're talking about, you can pull it off the shelf because you have it. Oh, that's hilarious. Jeff says, yes, I need to agree, Peter, that weddings can be very eventful at times. Yes. Roy says the GX 880 does weigh over 4 grams. Yeah, can you imagine somebody trying? I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger is even too old to be vlogging with that. Okay. Maybe in his prime, but now he's too old. So, guys, I've got ice cream calling me. So we will work on getting the lighting a little different. I'm not going to say, I'm not going to say better, but I do think like the moon is completely washed out. And it was hilarious because right before I went live, the moon went through, I want to say phases, but you know, that's kind of a play on words. It wouldn't stay on one color. So it was just cycling through all the colors. So that was kind of crazy. But guys, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being here. And we will do this again next week. I don't know what the week's going to bring, so I don't really have anything up my sleeve for next week, but we'll figure out something. Roy says that GX680 is 4 kilograms without back or lens. Yeah, that is definitely a set in place camera. Yeah, you got big, I went small. You know, I got a little bitty teeny tiny camera that just sits there and doesn't do a thing, just sits there. But it lets me talk to all you guys. So again, I've hugely enjoyed it. Thank you, thank you, thank you for hanging out with me. And we will see you guys next week. Good night, everybody.